There's the Paramount water tower, which I don't believe they use anymore. But I do believe they keep a little bit of water in it just to keep it so it doesn't fall over. Hey everybody, it's Brian, John from the Project Algerine team.
What's happening?
Hey, we're gonna head over here to Paramount Pictures and we're gonna pitch them our show.
Yeah.
Why not?
Sunshine, golden rays, palms swaying high, Algerine in the latest maze. Venice beach cruiser breeze kissing my face. Home away from home, Cali vibe in this place. Chilling in the hills, just cinematic surreal. Riding down sunset, bumping beats with zeal. Street art, bursting colors, murals telling tales. Dreams painted vivid, creative, winding our sails. Project Algerine, LA, I've seen where the streets mix the clean with the mean. Surfing on concrete waves in the south, grilling in my backyard, flavors in the mouth. Stars align in the night. Boulevard legends keep the hustle tight. Fusion in the...
Okay. We're heading over there. That's where we're going.
Here we go.
There we go.
So even though this is a parking lot right now, this whole area, even down from the blue sky wall, this area used to be filled up with sand, saloons, and also as well, a real working train. All of our Western movies were the cheapest ones to make, and a lot of our biggest Western movies included Shane, which starred Ali Ladd, one of our biggest stars here at Paramount, and also, let's see, Once Upon a Time in the West, starring, we have one and only Charles Bronson, and also Henry Fonda, father of Jane Fonda, one of Hollywood's biggest actors of all time. Now, Paramount Studios itself has been an old company, but it is the original basis for how all movies operate to this very day. Paramount was founded in 1912 by our leading founder, Adolf Zukor, in the state of New York. So when Adolf Zukor was beginning the idea to create a business that could produce feature-length movies, he didn't have all of the tools and necessities to get started, because his career actually began with making Nickelodeon short cartoons, and he would only charge people to go to these Nickelodeon theaters for just 5 cents, which is where the name Nickelodeon comes from, because you would just pay for that nickel for that show. And these 10 to 15 minute cartoons, they were the basis for how he was able to save his money to create Paramount Studios. But he had a few helping hands to help him along the ride. Jesse Lasky, he met in 1916, and these two would collaborate more on the business end of Paramount as it was growing more and more. And the one and only Cecil B. DeMille became one of our greatest producers and directors. Cecil B. DeMille and also Jesse Lasky, they have buildings named after them, similar to how Michael Bay has a street named after him within this whole lot. And where we're passing right here, this is now called the Paseo. It's supposed to be reflecting a kind of like town area of Europe, France, or Italy, so that way we could film in this spot. And the building that is on our left-hand side, this used to previously be the original entryway of Paramount Studios. Now, all of our former executives and our 3 leading founders, they all had offices here. But today, most of our executives have offices in another building in Hollywood. lined up, ready to go, because sound stages 1 and 2 are being used for the show Matlock right now. And so it allows some of our older actors to easily access this area, including Kathy Bates herself, where when we're walking around here, we're going to see how very big it is. And the older you are, it gets a little bit hard to walk around a lot. But the sound stages that we are includes one of our oldest sound stages, Sound Stage 4, just straight ahead of us, just right here. This little guy was constructed in 1918, and also he is now currently being used for Platonic, a Warner Brothers produced show that is renting out Sound Stage 4. But just right behind Sound Stage 4, I want to be bringing us around to an unusual spot that we use for filming for one of our biggest franchises of the 1980s. So let's step out right here. Everybody watch your step and watch your head. We're going to be making our way over movies of the 1980s, the very first Top Gun movie. At the time, our 2 leading stars, Mr. Gillis and Mr. Cruz, they had a little bit of a turbulent working relationship.
Back here behind this Paramount medical facility, the pivotal scene from the movie Top Gun was filmed.
How long that it's taking, and also as well if you want to do other scenes as well. And you guys are definitely going to be recognizing this little back part just right here, because this is the scene.
Now, in the movie, this scene supposedly takes place out near a road in an open field, and they were able to shoot it in this little tiny corner here. That is the movie magic. Stages 5 and 6 are where the Brady Bunch was filmed. Ann B. Davis, who grew up in Erie, Pennsylvania and went to Strong Vincent High School, ended up playing Alice on the Brady Bunch. And she would have worked in these 2 main stages here.
And then waiting to say, all right, it's time for your scene. And they would either go into sound stage 17, 18, and also sound stage 6 as well. Now this place though is actually home to one of the biggest directors here of this time. And it is the one and only Alfred. And there was one day where it was like 4 a.m. in the morning and I had to contain laughter because I'm like, everybody else is asleep and I am still awake.
It's all right.
Laughing and screaming at this. So if you are going to be working with a movie, and especially in the sound department, you need to have a quiet space to be recording your sound for your movies. This ranges from the tires that are on a car right here, or even most importantly, your feet when you're walking on the ground, gravel, rocks, or even in the woods. Because theoretically, you can record these sounds outside, but sometimes other things interfere with it. And especially within here in the lot, we have cars that still drive up and down here, and also as well, LAPD flies around, and also airplanes when they're going to LAX. So you have to have a nice quiet place to record these sounds, which then comes into play with Foley artists and Foley stage here. Hi guys, again. So we're gonna stop just right here on this right-hand side, because this was a small little place, but it is one of the most important factors for filmmaking.
Foley stage.
This is Foley stage, where all of these sounds. As we're coming up around on this side here, we are passing through next to the financial district of New York. The financial district has been used for Wolf of Wall Street and also as well for Degrassi. And as you can see from this right-hand side, we have our subway that is open here on the financial district. The subway can also be utilized also to be holding costumes. If we don't have enough extras that day for filming, the extras that are here on set, they will go down inside of a certain part. You hear how hollow certain segments are. All these bricks that you see are constructed out of wood. The material that creates these bricks, it's a plastic molding material that allows us to easily mold it, shape it onto the New York area, and in case as well that we're setting a new movie in a different time period, to easily strip the bricks off and replace it to be reflecting what this side of Brooklyn looked like in the 1920s or the 1950s. Because this New York backlot that you guys are seeing is supposed to be reflecting a modern movie that utilized sound. And that was A Quiet Place, made in 2018. A Quiet Place stars John Krasinski. He is the lead actor. He is one of the contributing writers, the director. And he is also the aliens that we have in that movie. He is wearing these motion capture suits for the Death Angels. He is not breaking his back from all that work of carrying the office. Need to open up a bank account or anything? We got a credit union, First Entertainment, where you can get all of your loans to be making your first projects, whether it be a short film or a long feature-length movie as well. I'm going to be bringing us around on another side of the area. We're going to be coming into the district of Soho and Brooklyn. Brooklyn being one of my favorite spots within this location because it's the most popular use spots within New York. On my left-hand side, we have the district of Soho. Soho has actually been used for a lot of Old Navy commercials. And we are getting ready for the holiday season, so I'm very excited to be seeing this place set dressed in snow and actually make it seem like, yes, Christmas is coming very, very soon.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
And as well, we have Greenwich Village just here on this right-hand side. And we have Levi's Group entering into one of our central facades here. Our central facade is our biggest one that connects the Upper East Side, a little bit of the Lower East Side, and Brooklyn as well. All of these facades have taken a lot of work into making, and some of them, they bring some of the greatest illusions of filmmaking to life. So why I want to bring you guys inside of this central facade is to see the different types of structures of what has made this place whole. Wow. So if you look on my right-hand side, going from the Lower East Side and also a little bit of the Upper East Side, you see this area is constructed out of metal. But when we're coming into the Brooklyn area, this side is made out of wood. The wooden material that you guys are seeing, this is the only remaining original structure of the New York Backlot that is going on 100 years old now.
Wow.
The reason for this material only remaining and everything else with the siding structures made up that are here in New York City, the brownstones have been used for Everybody Hates Chris, a comedy show that was out on television. And here on this left-hand side, we have the Lower East Side of New York, has been used for The Rookie most recently for filming, and also as well as for Matlock. This is another section of the Brooklyn area here on my right-hand side. But I do apologize because I didn't tell you guys to bring your jackets today, because we're about to enter into the Windy City, also known as Chicago. Chicago has been used for musical TV shows and musicals such as Glee, and also as well as Dreamgirls. It is the further confirmation that I'm like, all right, so you guys had Beyonce here. She walked through these halls. Now, how are you going to get her back for the 20th anniversary for Dreamgirls? It's 2 years away.
Yeah.
She's got to clear out her schedule because I got to be meeting my queen. So let me find us a good place to park just right here. So that way we can come into some of these facades and also as well so we can see how some places you can film and also where some techniques done that has been studied and trying to be repeated over and over has been from Lord of the Rings and Two Towers, when you have a 10,000 army of Uruk-hai approaching the kingdom of Rohan. And previously, the sound engineers were just recording about 20 men, and they were looping the voices over and over again, repeatedly. But it didn't have the same feel of what a 10,000 army should sound like. So the sound engineers, they collaborated with the team, the rugby team in New Zealand, and they set up microphones all around their stadium. And they were waiting for one of their opening games, and also where they knew a lot of fans were going to be present that day. So when all of the sound engineers came to this game, and also Peter Jackson himself, they put the language of the Uruk-hai up on the Jumbotron. So the fans were reciting the black speech of the Uruk-hai, and Peter Jackson was directing them. So he was teaching them how to pronounce the words for a few minutes, and then once everybody was starting to get into it, they gave the cue that they were recording, and all of the fans then started to give those awesome chants that we hear from the Uruk-hai. And this was not scripted and neither told by Peter Jackson, but then the audience members, they began to stomp on the stairs, like so, to be mimicking the sound of what armor would sound like on your body and your feet, because they also knew that the Uruk-hai were heavily armored as well. And so with this, not only was it the showing of how you can use all these amazing spaces, but that those movies were really a homemade movie because all the people in New Zealand were there in that sound that day. But eventually they had to like cut the sound because then you started to have fans swearing and they were drinking. And at that point they're like, oh, nobody's gonna have a New Zealand accent as Urkai. They're like, we gotta get this out. Now, I know we didn't say that we were gonna be coming to a big city today. But we're entering into New York City, guys. I know you didn't pay for that big much of a ticket.
That's cool.
We are in the Big Apple, my friends, right now.
Yeah.
And I'm going to circle us around a few places before we make our stop. We have several districts within the area of New York. And this spot that we are here right now. All around us within the New York area, we can make this place feel like any time, space, and even as well for weather. There are sprinklers above each of these areas to be bringing down water in case it's supposed to be raining in the city of New York or Chicago, and as well as snow. Previously though, in the case of A Wonderful Life, the material, but there is a little bit of a clue that gives away that this isn't the East Coast, it is Los Angeles, California. Everybody watch your step as we're coming down and inside. I am taking us into a location of Doctor Strange, the multiverse of time. As well as the city of Brooklyn and within the section of Soho as well. But this part of Soho holds a very special place in my heart because my brother was a really big fan of the Indiana Jones series. All movies we will not let any slang.
Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was filmed right here. This is the scene where the jocks and the greasers get in a fight in the soda shop, and then Shia LaBeouf and Harrison Ford come running out, and they get on a motorcycle, and they have some people chasing them. That scene was all filmed right here.
From there, and I was like, well, thank you for telling me. So now I can say, if anybody is looking for anybody, Judy Garland is the woman to go see. So let's go inside this really big area. So Jay also is talking about the technique of green screens, but the first concept of green screens began with map paintings. So every here in Los Angeles, 20th Century Fox, ourselves, Warner Brothers, and RKO Studios, we were in big competition with each other during the golden age of Hollywood. But when RKO Studios was going under, two RKO Studios stars, Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz, decided to purchase this part and convert it into their own studio. Now, RKO Studios has produced a lot of great movies. Some of them include, you guys might be familiar with, Citizen Kane, the very first King Kong movie, and also as well as Gone with the Wind. Now, if I did have a guess, I do ask everybody, what is your favorite movie? And loud and proud with his chest, he was there from Arkansas. He said, my favorite movie is Gone with the Wind. And I was like, oh, what do you love about it? He's just like, just the contents of the story. It's just so captivating. And I was like, the story about slavery? I'm like, I'll let it be. They had beautiful gowns.
Our next stop is Lucy Park, named after actress Lucille Ball, who was from Jamestown, New York.
To you guys of this part of RKO Studios, this is Lucy Park. All of the employees that were being converted from RKO Studios to Desilu, they were really worried if they were going to be able to keep their jobs. And with that,
This little area has been used in countless television and movies throughout the years. However, most people might remember it as the schoolyard for the Brady Bunch. And
just here on our right-hand side. But after Lucy Park was finished, she spent many, many years to try to get this place made right here on the right side of it.
this is the place where Greg Brady smoked his first cigarette.
Most of the writers for the I Love Lucy show were working parents, but a lot of those writers were working moms with children already. So they used to bring their kids inside of 25 or the writers' rooms. And Lucille Ball herself was becoming a mother. So she was very understanding of knowing that I too have to bring my kids, and we don't all have the money or the funds to get a babysitter or even to put our kids in daycare. So with that, even after her divorce, the money that she collected, she spent over 10 years to try to get They're still operating. But I want to be bringing us into another section of RKO Studios, which is the drama department just down on this side. Right across, we have Soundstage 21, where through Soundstages 19 through 21, they're using them for the booking at this very moment. The Soundstages 24 and 23, still a part of comedy, have been shooting a lot of Netflix projects here. And one of their biggest ones for several years was Grace and Frankie, that starred Lily Tomlinson and Jane Fonda here at the very bottom from 2015 to 2022. But I want to be making note on Family Ties that filmed in Soundstage 24, because this was the TV show that brought Michael J. Fox to stardom. So when he was being looked at for Universal for a little movie in the 80s coming out called Back to the Future, they had it originally in their script that it was supposed to be set during the daytime mostly. But because Michael J. Fox was here at Paramount from like 10 a.m. to 4, he couldn't get to Universal in time to be filming the scenes of Marty and Doc testing out the DeLorean. So the scriptwriters, they changed the setting of the movie to be from the daytime into the night instead. So that way, if you actually saw a DeLorean in the middle of the day disappearing at 88 miles per hour, it's like, I would be a little bit concerned, and then they'd be like, ma'am, you gotta go to a hospital. She's like, I promise, I saw it. Soundstage 19 was home to Citizen Kane, and it is listed at the very top of its soundstage placard, made in 1941. And also as well, the Rookie being present as that we have for the recent projects. But everybody who works inside of Soundstage 19, you have one of the best of the line. Because when you come out, you have a beautiful, perfect sight of the Hollywood sign in all of its glory. And for the beautiful day to stop and just be like, guys, we want some pictures of the Hollywood sign. I'm going to stop us just right here on this side. And if you guys want to step out to take some pictures, go on ahead. Change to say Hollywood instead of Hollywood, so one of the L's was removed. And when the state of California decriminalized marijuana and also legalized it for consumption, it was then changed to say Halloween instead, which I believe that should just be done for every 420, if you ask me. It's like, it might as well just be a national holiday. Everybody have the day off, time and a half, and give us some free apples to relax. The job is stressing us out. I gotta like try to be unique. You just fell out of a tree. I got that competition right now. All right, whenever you guys are ready, we can step back into our cart. We are going to be making our way onto one of our last stops of the day, which is going to be our props department. Wow! All right. Now, if you guys want to go up to the Hollywood sign, you can go to Griffith's Park. It is about a 5 to 6 mile hike up and then another 6 mile hike down. But it is a beautiful view, and also as well one of the greatest workouts I've ever experienced with like my quads. Now coming around on this right side, we are going to be passing by the Gene Roddenberry building, the creator of Star Trek. Oh, cool. Lucille Ball herself is the reason for why Star Trek got made. She was one of the leading executive producers for Star Trek. And a lot of the executives at Paramount were really not caught on making a show about a diverse cast out in space. And the businesswoman and the smart woman that Lucille Ball is, she literally told our executives, if you don't make this show, you are missing out on the biggest opportunity of your life. And at that moment, they realized, you know what, we should listen to Lucy. She's always been steering us the right way. It's like, yes, she has. And Star Trek, one of the greatest franchises made, still remains to this very day. Now let me find a good place to park, which I have a lot of space. And this is going to be our last stop, at least on the cart, so everybody take your stuff off the cart. So
Oh, no, great. From what? They have the Optimus Prime original.
Oh.
That's dope.
It's a lot of fun. Our beautiful and one and only James Earl Jones will live with us forever and ever as well. As a child, I actually believe that James Earl Jones was underneath the mask of Darth Vader.
I did too.
And when I saw this crusty white man, I was like, where is James Earl Jones? Only for my parents to burst my bubble and be like, he's just the voice. I'm like, well, that's not disappointing. All right, guys, welcome inside. Welcome, welcome.
This one right here, very easy to miss. This is actually the only drop that Paramount still owns from 1910. Was it Rose's bedroom? Yeah, it's Titanic. Titanic was a co-production, so we made it along with another company. It's exactly 50. But yes, this is the only one that Paramount still owns. Partly because we actually sunk the boat, and a lot of the props were water damage. But yes, but because the dictator. It's another one over there, the dictator. Yeah, any other questions in here? Very cool. Alright.
Yes, sir. All you gotta do is just say, meet me outside. And then it's gonna be going like slow. You can see once we go around on the backside of it, that it's just made with LED lights for the strips to be creating like white.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's good. The Jesus.
Yeah, it looks real. Yo, did you see the Terminator over there? I did not.
Alright, so let me show you a little secret with inside of Optimus. Because this truck right here, previously we used to allow everybody to step into the vehicles that we have here. And one thing we told one of our guests that this truck still has gasoline in it, in case we had to move it for a special event or we need to move the warehouse. And this gas is item alright, since we all can take pictures, I'm just gonna wait to use it for 20 seconds. For anybody who forgets that you're not. And all of a sudden, we get to hear an engine roar inside of the warehouse. Our guests were moving the power of the truck. He could not handle it, so he stepped into one
did it.
25 pounds from Popeye the Sailor Man movie.
I've actually been to that set.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
You
still
got to
there.
see Robin?
What's that?
Did you get to see Robin that day? Williams? Oh.
I mean, the actual set. It's still there. See, it's still there.
Do you guys want to take a few more pictures before we head on to our last stop for the day? Any last pictures before we leave?
Hey. Paramount Pictures. Supposed to turn out, run a custom.
Yeah.